Ahoy!
Brisbane VTS, good evening, sir. That's all, thank you. And count shot is 3.29. The out says is SO outward bound, and the Disney Magic is due away from 101 at 2100. Obviously, clear transfer.
Ahoy, shipmates. I got interrupted then by the radio. As you probably just heard, the Disney Magic is due to depart at 2100, so any moments now. What a glorious sunset we have here at the moment in the port of Southampton. Disney Magic arrived just this morning, so she's only been in port for less than a day. Probably stocking up on all the essentials. She arrived this morning and quite good conditions for a bit of droning. It was a little bit windy and frankly it did rain a bit.
YM Wellspring, this is Southampton VTS, channel 12 over. YM Wellspring, this is Southampton VTS, good evening sir. Channel 09 with the pilots please.
But yes, as I was saying, yes, it was a bit windy and it did rain a bit, but the sky was simply wonderful, and she was the Disney Magic was followed in by Britannia. A nice time lapse. What that was this morning, as you can see, the wind really is scooting those clouds right across. But there was a little bit of sun and a little bit of colour in the sky as well. Quite a nice morning. Warmer than has been, very pleasant. And the two cruise ships came in almost nose to tail, very close indeed, which is unusual to see two cruise ships next to each other. There's the Disney Magic and there's Britannia. You see what I'm saying? Really close together. And came in and docked, and she's still in dock at the moment. Go to cruise cam, you can see it, and there's Britannia. And just to the left, here.
On the VTS, Disney Magic, especially shortly from 101. That's all, sir, thank you. Whereabouts are you going to be swinging, please? Off the berth, yep, that's all, no problem, sir, thank you.
As you can see there, that is Super Yacht Zen, which came into port the other day. I've got a fantastic video of her. He looks all the parts super yacht that you can imagine. Two hot dumps, bow on the fry bridge, and then just behind Super Yacht Zen, see the tall rigging there. That is Tenacious, sailing training yacht in port for a couple of days as well. There's quite a lot goes on here in the port of Southampton. Variety of ships. Obviously, well, I like a bit of super yacht action, but it doesn't appeal to everyone. I'm guessing everyone's here, essentially, for the Disney Magic.
Good evening, ma'am. Also, the teammate DJ Alcazar are coaching the booking out outward bound, clear channel. And the Disney Magic just about to let go from 101.
I hope you heard all that. I hope the radio's coming across. It doesn't always come across, so I can hear it on my headphones. I hope people can hear it. She's just about, the Disney Magic's just about to let go. And I hope you can see here in the picture, there is actually a very large crowd. This is the first time I have seen a large crowd in the Mayflower Park to watch a ship depart. I guess because lockdown is on its way out, slightly eased restrictions, more people can get out. Maybe the Disney Magic is a big draw. Only in port for the day, and then she's off to Dover. I'm not sure where she's going after that. Oh, let me have a look. I've been missing the chat. Let me have a quick look. I'm going to miss a lot of people here. Sorry, I'm marvelling at the sunset. I see there's ahoy there, Roy Perkins from Ontario, Canada. Excellent. I saw someone else was from California. That whiz by me, that one. Ahoy, John Ring. Let's hope she gives a tune. Yes, that would be the hope, wouldn't it? Is slipping away. As you can see, the sunset is still pretty fantastic. Just creeping out from behind the building. That might technology, yeah. Oh. We are hoping for a tune. The Disney cruise ships are famous for playing various Disney songs. Horns. Quite sure how they managed to get tunes out of the horns, but seem to. It's a really lovely sunset this evening.
Yes, Red Osprey. Good evening.
Oh, ahoy there, Rob Cook. Thank you for telling me the
Red
radio
Osprey,
station.
good evening, sir.
Oh, it's
So,
definitely...
just for information, we are conducting some engine trials alongside. We will inform you when we are done and dusted.
Yeah, that's okay. Thanks for the call, sir.
I'll turn off the radio now, as we know that she's actually moving out. And in the background there is the container ship, the HMM Helsinki, 400 metres long. And I'd have to say, looking quite glorious in that sunset. A few shipmates on board. I must say, she's certainly getting a lovely parallel motion here. Did hear the pilot say they were going to swing out. Camera seems decent. And she's certainly got a lovely, lovely motion there. Front's coming around now. The bow thrusters are... I was surprised when I was doing some research actually on Disney Magic how old Disney Magic is. It's quite an elegant looking ship, and we'll get here. It's a really good view of her stern. But an unusual. Certainly has a, referred to in the history as a duck's tail. Bound to get a good view of that. As I was saying there, the HMM Helsinki, the container ship at the far end of the docks, that's 400 metre long container ship. That's one of the largest container ships. See, there's no passengers on board at the moment, just crew and the pilot. Roberts told me that 150 or so. Once the cruise ships go back into service, the obviously crew will increase. In fact, some of the ships we've had go out recently have a lot more. Most of the ships have been coming in out of port at the moment. Around about 150 crew. 200. The other ships we had the other day had gearing up for cruising to commence, which starts in the port of Southampton on May the 20th. We'll have the sea duos leaving. Certainly planning a technological extravaganza. Push all those buttons and see what I can do for YouTube in Southampton. Quite a lot of lights. Disney Magic here. No passengers waving, it's a bit of a shame. A bit of a flickering screen up here. I believe this is what they call the funnel vision or something. It shows all day long. There's actually quite a few on the balconies. I expect these are probably through going the luxury of a proper balcony. bowels of the ship somewhere. Gone for a walkabout. Back. D-camera. As I was saying, I was surprised actually. It's old. I can look at that stern just yet. That stern is what I was particularly talking about. I think she's got some interesting lines, more sort of classical lines. You can see she's got a slope on her stern here. Very, very sharp bow. I took some lovely photos when I droned her this morning. She's quite photogenic. I do like the round portholes along the side. You get a good view of them here. I think, all in all, I think she generally is quite attractive. But yeah, she was first launched in 1997, so it does make her an old ship. Cost approximately 400 million to build. Just a little bit more than Den's super yacht, but not a great deal. I'm going to have a look at the bow here. See, look at this bow. This bow is very reminiscent of a super yacht of yesteryear, not the modern day super yachts, because they tend to go for the vertical dreadnought style bow. But this is a real pointy, elegant bow, and it certainly goes back a long way before it gets to the bridge. Nothing at the front. There's no. That looks to me. The sun is still giving us fantastic. It's coming over particularly well on the camera, but it looks like to me like the actual logo, the name of the ship, is illuminated. I've not seen that before on a cruise ship. I suppose that's fitting Disney illuminated logo. Capacity is 1,750 passengers, double occupancy, or a maximum of 2,700. I don't quite know differences. And crew normally, full complement of crew is 945. Down on the crew at the moment. Coming in at 300 metres long. That's up, say, in the larger size of cruise ships we have coming to port. Certainly not the smallest by any stretch of imagination. Although I would say passenger numbers on the lower side, pretty a bit more spacious and board, and not quite as tall as some of the other ships, I suppose. More elegant lines. I've got to go back to that again. More elegant. Makes some great reflections on water this evening. Wind has dropped right. Still a big crowd in Mayflower Park. Absolutely full of cars. That's something I don't see very often at all, I guess. A great crowd in to watch a cruise ship leave. Imagine what it's going to be like on May the 20th when the MSC Virtuosa leaves. Ahoy there, Tim Ellis. A clipper bow. Yes. I think you've nailed it. I think that's a clipper bow. I realise I've not had the chat up. All have gone past me. Looks like the funnel vision television is not working. I'll tell you what, it should have funnel vision. Have a certain YouTube channel. Be a perfect complement. See yourself leaving. So once we actually get some passengers on the cruise ships, I have a feeling a few shipmates waving from the balconies. There's someone waving there. I'd like to think they're watching the Southampton ship's live stream. Probably just wait. Or probably as their crew, they're probably being paid to do this as part of their contract. They'll wave. Port. Quite a few crew there. Haven't heard the horn as yet. Feeling we may have missed the horn. Time for the horn would be, but I think probably more now than later. So, because she hasn't got any passengers on, I'm guessing that's probably why they're not the horn. Boy, they're Colin Quinsky. Yes, we need the horn. I totally agree with you there, shipmate. It sort of defeats the whole object, doesn't it? No horn. Getting some great light from that sunset, although now she's heading towards the dock head. Not going to be so exciting sky-wise, unfortunately. We're looking away from the lovely sunset, the lovely container ship, heading more towards the water and glorious Isle of Wight. I would certainly say, considering she's not fully loaded with passengers, she's certainly illuminated very nicely. Although they do need to sort out the funnel vision television link. Ahoy there, Gary Glasgow. Yes, give us a tune. I agree with you there. Like we're being shortchanged. I'll tell you what you can see now. I think this is probably the best. I'll see it on here. Let me zoom in a little bit on. You can see this stern. A very nice sloped stern. And the stern drops off and sticks out at the very bottom. Kicks out. The duck's tail. Supposedly that's aids the boat through the water, increases fuel economy, adds to stability, so on. Or I could disagree. I'm an expert on hydrodynamics. But it's certainly, I think it lends to a feature, and I took some photographs earlier this morning. In fact, I'll show you them later when the disappears. Tanya, I'll show you the photographs I took this morning because they were actually pretty good. Like I say, she's got some very pleasing lines. It certainly takes a good shot with the drone. Of course, it's not just live streams on this channel. There are all drone videos as well. Super Yacht Zen earlier. And yesterday, or the day before, I caught a German wooden yacht called Geest. That's a wonderfully pretty wooden yacht. The largest single-masted wooden yacht built in the UK since the 1930s. And the interior is phenomenal. So I'm just putting that video together and that will be out later. It is a beautiful boat. In fact, you can just see her in Town Quay. Her mast is sticking right up. She's a big sailboat. It's also the same wooden sailboat that James Bond is on in the next Bond film. Daniel Craig. No Time to Die, I think. Bond film. Now you can see these round portholes. I think that's a rather elegant feature. There's bigger ones and smaller ones. I didn't realise. And even smaller ones underneath that. It's great, isn't it? Duck's tail. And that is Super Yacht Zen. The fourth super yacht, that is. So the Disney Magic's still restricted by speed at this current point in the harbour. Only allowed to do 6 knots. Daniel Sands, she glides through the water beautifully. I agree. Some nice looks to her. Leona Desmond, the colour is amazing. Yes, it's been a very colourful evening. I think we've been very lucky. I saw someone say something about Art Deco stern. Yes, Christopher Matthews, Art Deco stern. Yeah, I'd go with that. I believe has interior design is Art Deco, if I remember correctly, on this ship. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. Difficult to tell. So yes, it's not long now until we get the first proper passenger outing, near the 20th. She's, like I say, Disney Magic is quite old, but she was overhauled in, I think it was 2013. Diz, Spain. I imagine she's reasonably up to date inside. So she's probably getting to that age where thinking about retiring now. That tea. Not a lot else in. I mean, going in the port at the moment, quite quiet on a Sunday evening. It's got a top speed of 21.5 knots. Oh, sorry, 23.5 knots. Top speed, sorry. 43.5 kilometres an hour for all you continental type. Wait, still. Must be loud. It's got a really nice colour. I think the colour combinations. I've not seen this Disney ship before in Port of Southampton. I'm sure she has been in the Port of Southampton before, but first time for me seeing her. First time on the channel. I was expecting something a little more a little more razzmatazzy. But actually, I think she's really got some decently elegant lights. The hull's got a lovely blue colour, and there's that gold. Bit yellow in this light, I suppose, but it's a bit of a little gold band around the hull, and that's finished with a intricate design near the bow. I think it's really well done. I believe on the top of the ship there's all sorts of bits and pieces. Certainly looking nice at night. And she's off to Dover. I think or someone asked where she was off to. She's off to Dover. No horns, I'm afraid. I did think that might be the case. There's no passengers on board, so I tend to do the extravagant horn noises board. I did see someone in the chat said that they were booked to go on the Disney Magic. I don't know who else is. Anyone else booked to go on the Disney Magic or has been on Disney Magic? Francis Moore, ahoy shipmate. Where's the tugboats? Where are the tugboats? Well, there's no tugboats for the cruise ships. They don't tend to need them. A lot more maneuverable than goods vehicles. Although I did notice this morning that Britannia did indeed dock with a couple of tugs, but I think that's because it was a bit extra windy this morning. Oh, Olivia Brindle, ahoy shipmate, when is she sounding her horns? I don't know, I think it would have happened. Frankly, if it was going to happen, I think it would have happened. Got one of the fast ferries here, locally, the passenger only one. It's the Red Jet there, just coming across. Going very slowly, very cautious of the Red Jet. Oh, ahoy there, Susan Coles, you're booked to go near the end of the year. Lizzie Clark, me. Okay. Lorraine Edwards, yes, you've booked on her. Go back this year. Oh, Darv's Planet booked out and set in August from Southampton. Excellent. Well, you'll probably. I don't know when her first sailing is, but you've got to be on one of the first ones, I would have thought. Almost going out of sight now. I'll show you some of my slides from this morning. Elizabeth Slade going twice this year, shipmate. Wow, that's twice is quite impressive. Ahoy the Lee Horn, we're on the Magic in August. We think August is the first sailing for the Magic. I haven't actually checked. 20th of August seems to be the popular dates. Someone says they've got a big rear... Oh, ahoy Lady Peaches. I have the massive rear balcony. Well, if you're going from the port of Southampton, Lady Peaches, you better give us a wave. Well, like I said, I went out for a bit of a drone this morning, and I took a few pictures. And like I say, here you've got a particularly good view of the stern. A bit better light, obviously, in the morning than it is at night here. I think it's quite an angle. It's quite an angle to the stern as well. It's not just flat. It's angled in all directions. I think it's really very elegant. See the sky. It's quite an interesting sky this morning. Disney logos, the funnels, and here you can see the lovely pointy bow. Tim Ellis would say the clipper bow, and then behind was the Britannia. Really good shots this morning. I'm just putting that video together, so that'll be out and about later. Okay, that's the Britannia that's in at the moment, so the Disney Magic is behind the Britannia at the moment. Scooting off to Dover. And it sounds like August is going to be the first Disney Magic out of Southampton, from what you guys have been saying. Let's see, 15th from Liverpool. People going from Liverpool as well. Oh, ahoy there, Sarah Baker. Please can I shout out, it's Aunt Lechmere's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Aunt Lechmere. You'll be going on a cruise in September. He used to dance for Disneyland Paris. Or he's got some moves if he used to dance for Disneyland Paris. Impressive. Like I say, shipmates, there'll be more live streams coming, so if you are enjoying live streams and the coverage of the ships coming and going from the port of Southampton, do think about subscribing. You'll get notifications and of all my new videos, and whenever there's a live stream starting. It's May the 20th. Will probably be the first passenger ship out. That's the MSC, I think it's the MSC Virtuosa. The maiden voyage, so we could be in for fireworks, maybe a water salute, depending on the time of day. I'm going to be out and about with my camera, probably on the shore in Mayflower Park, possibly on the water. Depends how far I can stretch my technological magic. And possibly with a drone in the sky as well. So if you've just hit that subscribe button, then hit that notification, then you'll be updated with all that sort of nonsense. So the Magic is still behind. Moment. We could see it come in this morning. I can show you the last time lapse. This is what it was like this morning. Had a bit of a sunrise, not particularly amazing, and it got hidden by the clouds. But you can see how windy it is. It's really taking those clouds across at quite some speed. A couple of the red funnel ferries in front, they're broken down. But what was unusual this morning is we had the Disney Magic come in. Look how close the Britannia was. Really very close indeed. I don't think I've seen two cruise ships coming quite so close before. the busiest day in the port of Southampton for the cruise ships previously, normally somewhere in August. And when that happens, we get somewhere in the region of 10 cruise ships all at once. And that'll be a very busy day. I should be live streaming all day for that. And imagine that the Disney Magic will appear shortly from behind stern of the Britannia. But we'll whiz over here and we see the super yacht Zen. Not sure who the owner of Super Yacht Zen is. I've not been able to find out. The sailing boat in the rear is the training ship, the Nautius. You can see where the Britannia is docked is 44 berth. That's the ocean terminal. If you ever come to the port of Southampton, you're going on a cruise into 44 berth, you can, and you're on the, I was going to say the starboard side, but it depends which way the ship is pointing. As we've sort of observed, the Britannia always seems to reverse in, Queen Mary 2 seems to go straight in. But anyway, if you're on the, I call it the city side rather than the water side, you have to wave to the camera. We'll have pride of place for you on your balcony. We should all be hoping to see you. See, yeah, oh, it might be something. Might be a ship in the very distance. Camera has a fantastic range. When the conditions allow, we can see all the way to the Isle of Wight, which is staggering. Yes, so those lights you can see in the distance moving, and or in fact the MA CGM Alcazar, somewhere in the region of 12 nautical miles away. But here we go. Has reappeared. And they still haven't fixed the funnel vision. I think the visibility is not as good as it has been. The weather, the evening has dropped in visibility. And normally this camera, you get a really good view. I shall follow the Disney Magic out for a little while longer. I don't think we're going to see a past Cashot's being as dark as I won't follow for very long. But hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, shipmates, and I do appreciate you all watching. I love all your comments, and I'm hoping you'll subscribe and tune in to the next broadcast, which I'm not sure when that'll be. I can try and fit it in. Probably for the next exciting cruise ship. Well, till next time, shipmates.
Radio Movie 2, thank you. That's the UKD blueprint just entered the North Channel there inwards.